Welcome, guys, to the second episode of the RTTM podcast. Obviously, we have here Ray, self-made millionaire, Yasin, and myself, Daniel. We're here to talk a lot about a lot of stuff, and today is going to be a crazy podcast. So, I think we can just pretty much get started. What do you guys think?
Of course, let's
Yes,
start.
sir. Everybody's ready? All right. So, Ray, first of all, it's been a crazy hell of a week. I think we've all been through a lot of stuff. So, first things first, let's start with business. How's been business going for you, man?
Business is good.
Yeah.
Always ups and downs here and there.
Yeah.
Like I like to say, business is not for the weak people. You know, business is for strong-minded people. So nothing is guaranteed, unlike a job. So, I had a pretty good week overall. Business is doing good. My companies are growing.
Beautiful.
A little bit of setbacks here and there, but that's just part of the game.
That's pretty much normal, right? So I think it's known on social media right now. It's going viral. Everybody's looking at it. Let's talk about the 6 a.m. club, something that we started last year, but we're expanding this year. Talk to me about it. How's it going?
Yeah, so basically last summer, we decided, me and a friend, to start this movement. We're like, you know what? Let's just basically show up at this location. It was completely random. And just bring like a little notepad and just set the goals for the day, journal a little bit and, just network with other people and just start the day strong. So we started, because I had a problem sleeping early.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have this problem today. We're like scrolling on TikTok and wasting our time before we go to bed. So I was like, I need a solution to be consistent waking up early.
Yep.
So I was like, instead of doing it by myself, let me do it with other people. So I remember last summer, around June 1st, I drove by myself to Carrefour Laval and Laval with my car. And I just posted a story on Instagram. I was like, hey, I'll be there every single morning at 6 a.m. Anybody who wants to join me, to kind of like set some goals, network, just start the day strong, you guys are welcome.
Okay.
So the second day, I think 2 guys showed up.
Okay.
And then, we networked. I never met these guys before. They just, followed me on Instagram. So we started building some cool connections. And then, a couple days later, guys would start to show up. And the next thing you know, after 7 or 8 days, we were like maybe 15 or 20 guys showing up every single morning.
Nice.
So we did it for a little bit of time last summer. And then eventually we kind of like just died out a little bit. And this summer, a couple days ago, my friend texted me again. They're like, yo, we got to start that thing back.
Yeah.
And I remember I was struggling with my sleep schedule again. I was sleeping like at 2, 3 in the morning. I'm teaching, late at night with the Road to the Million Academy. So my schedule got really bad. So I was looking for an opportunity to fix my sleep schedule and to start again from scratch. So he texted me this. I'm like, yeah. I told him, give me like a week, And then I remember I went back home and I thought about it for a couple seconds. I was like, I texted him back. You know what? We'll start tomorrow morning.
Nice.
And I was like, let's go.
Speed,
Nice.
yes, sir.
So, money loves speed, right? You have to act fast in this world. So next thing you know, the next day we showed up, me and him. We posted it on Instagram, like, hey guys, we're doing this again. And then the next day, 30 guys show up.
Yeah.
The next day, it's crazy. We created an Instagram page for it.
Yeah.
It's going viral right now. A lot of hate, a lot of good stuff, a lot of things.
We'll talk about that.
How can people hate on a movement like that? Like, just let me say a little message for the haters right now. Like what's wrong? What I understand. Like some people, there's so much negative energy out there. I started this with good intention with my friend. We just want to freaking network with people, wake up early and start the day strong.
Yeah.
And then one of my friend, he posted a viral video. I think it's going viral. It's gaining
Right now it's like 103K.
yeah, over 100,000 views in like, I don't know how many hours. And I think over 3,000 or 4,000 people shared it already in the
Crazy.
day. So I was reading the comments, man. It's
Yeah.
so funny, man. People are crazy.
Yeah.
People, what the hell's wrong with Montreal?
Yeah.
I love the city so much. And, if you're reading this and you're a hater, you got to come try it. Just
Of
come
course,
show
yeah.
up next morning, man. Like, it's easy to be in your bed typing messages, like a keyboard warrior. Just come and try it. So we started it. We have about 30 guys showing up. We started 2 days ago.
Yep.
And we already have like over 300-400 followers on the page. A lot of people are discovering it. It's great. Dude, there's a young girl. She's 19. She showed up. She was the first woman to show up. And she pitched me an idea. She's like, hey, I'm a copywriter. I'm looking for, opportunities. And it happened that I was looking for a copywriter.
Nice.
So I literally had my interview with her a couple hours ago.
Nice.
And she's starting on Monday.
So you're telling me she came to that and you hired her and she got a job.
She came to the 6 a.m. meeting. The next day, she got a job.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And she used to have a job back then. Now she get to quit to work for you.
Yeah. So, and it's going to be in her field because she's working another job right now that she doesn't really like. So, yeah, opportunities.
Beautiful.
Like I always like to say, if you guys want to be successful in life, you have to show up. 50% of the equation is showing up. Don't make assumptions in your head. Don't overthink. Just you see a group of people, 30 people, sharp, waking up at 5 to show up at 6. Dude, that's discipline.
100%.
Everybody here is working hard. So surround yourself with like-minded people.
Yeah,
Crazy how
show up,
this girl.
show up, and never give up.
Absolutely, that's the motto. I would actually argue this girl has more balls than the people online. But coming back a little bit into it, I actually believe that Montreal is just a place that's, like we said last meeting, like that. What we talked about is the haters, man. And in Montreal, it's always haters. No matter what you do, you can do the best thing ever, you can do the worst thing ever. You're always gonna have some haters. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are always going to have an opinion.
For sure.
People always have an opinion. And like I always like to say, personally, I don't know for you guys, but personally, I cannot recall a moment back in history where I commented a negative comment.
Same.
In my entire life,
Yep.
I never took time out of my day to leave a negative comment. Because for me, it's a negative. It's an L for me. And the reason why is because I believe you have to protect your energy. You have to protect your time. If you're on a mission, you're trying to build a business, you're trying to improve yourself, you don't have time to look at other people's lives. Like
for sure.
if you're sitting at home and like criticizing other people all the time, judging other people all the time, giving you what you think about other people all the time, take all this time, take all this energy and put it in yourself. Next thing you know, you're going to start getting some results. So I think energy is really precious and most people don't realize it. And that's why most people are unhappy and they're not reaching their goals.
Yep.
So, yeah. So I never really left any comments in my life. And it's not because I don't disagree with people. Sometimes I watch content, I'm like, this looks clownish.
Yeah.
This looks stupid. I have my own opinions, but I'm not going to start, typing comments and starting conversations back and forth with people. Dude, I got an empire to run.
Taking the time to actually write a bad comment is absolutely useless. Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I would say is I would argue anything in life you do, you should have the good side, which are the supporters, and you should always have haters. I feel like there's not necessarily something that you will do that has zero hate. I feel like it's actually pretty healthy to have some haters. Shows you that you're doing something right.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the first signs of success.
Yep.
Yeah.
You get your first haters, people congratulate you, dude. You're into something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can also say that it grew pretty fast this year, right? So that's why maybe the hate came pretty fast as well. Because last year, I don't remember having anything. I know we didn't post a lot of it, but the hate was almost zero.
Yeah, we weren't that big on social media.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you go on social media, right? Like people start to, they see that your content get exposed to all types of people and people have different types of opinions. It's really, it's the same, I think, worldwide. I don't think it's just like a Montreal issue. I think it's really like just,
It's everywhere.
it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
But the good thing about social media is today, because we posted some videos on social media today, we had more people than yesterday in
Yes.
the 6 a.m. club.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Just because of one video that did like 20K views.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's like positive things in social media, but there's also negative like haters. So
Yeah, honestly, funny story. Haters are not always bad.
yeah,
I remember back in the days, I rented a Lamborghini
yeah,
to do a marketing video for my tutoring company.
yeah,
So it was a cool video. I was just driving around and, I wanted to make the video a little cooler. So I rented a Lambo, right?
yeah,
Typical. So I did it. And then obviously there's a young guy in the Lambo talking. Of course, I'm going to get some hate. So I remember there's a guy, he tagged his friend and he said something like, look at this clown or whatever. 5 minutes later, that friend that got tagged bought my course.
Oh, nice.
Wow, this is crazy.
So haters give you free marketing.
Yeah,
So that's why I don't care that much.
yeah,
Coming back to there's no bad marketing. At the end
There's
of the
no
day.
bad marketing, really. I mean, like hate is exposure. You just get more exposure, right? So if you're getting a lot of hate, a lot of people discover you because of the hate. And now these new people, they form their own opinions
They might
about
like
what
you.
they think about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe half of them might like you and the other half might not like you. But the half that likes you might become, part of your community. So,
yeah. So if you are a hater, man, I think you should continue putting comment because it's gonna help the algorithm like of our
Absolutely.
videos. It's gonna make the video more viral. So please continue. So we're gonna make more views and we're gonna have more good people coming
It's
to our
doing great.
community.
Seriously, it's
6
doing
a.m.
great.
club.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, you know, let's come back a little bit into the main point, which is, you know, all this virality that's going on. Obviously, it's bringing us more people,
Yeah.
meaning it's a better success for sure. Now,
Yes.
so let's talk about last year comparison to this year. Did you even expect to be this big this year?
Honestly, not really. I expected it to be bigger, but not this big.
Not this big.
And
Okay.
that's a good business lesson for a lot of people listening. This is the road to the million. So we talk a lot about business. So this is a good analogy of like, you know, when you start your business, not a lot of stuff happens the first year. So you have to
Yeah.
push through the pain.
Mhm.
Most of your success is going to start after 1 or 2 years. So this is exactly an example of what happened right now.
Yep.
We started last summer. We had a couple people.
Yeah.
Now we started again. It just like quadrupled overnight.
It's huge.
Yes, and that's what it takes to build a brand, to build a business. It takes patience. So you need to be able to do, you know, go through the first year, second year, third year, and eventually people get used to it and it becomes just a normality in the city, right? So that's one big business lesson I think everybody can learn
Yep.
from. So it takes time, you know, to build a business and also marketing. I mean, it's working for one reason. It's
Yeah.
because of social media.
Absolutely.
I see a lot of people today, they're not even using social media properly to promote their businesses.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not that hard. We created an Instagram page. We asked everybody showing up, hey guys, post a story, tag us. The next day we got more people and it's just gonna be an exponential effect.
Absolutely. Yep. Yep. 100%. And I would say, because I was there last year and I'm there this year. I love it. That's actually where I met you. So it's honestly going to be, I think, a forever nostalgia thing for me. But one thing is, last year, I remember seeing the same faces every single morning, and it was great. And now I see the same faces I saw last year coming this year as well, which is great.
Yeah.
But I also see new faces, which honestly I'm pretty happy about it.
Yeah.
And man, I don't even know the ratio about it. I think we have more new people nowadays, and I think they all want to stick to it. They all like it. I've talked to them, and man, honestly, what you're doing, and it's going great. And I don't see it stopping. I think you might even push it for the next year.
Yeah,
what I mean?
absolutely. It's funny. This is how we met.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
me and you would not know each other if it was not for the 6 a.m.
Absolutely
club.
crazy.
It's crazy. We're doing this
Yeah.
podcast together because we met at the 6 a.m. club. So my message for everybody listening today, don't be afraid to experiment. You know, gather with people, meet people. You never know who you can meet, right? Like, that's a great story. And yes, a lot of people showed up from last year. They're still showing up this year. You know, retention, it's working good. Or if it's not beneficial, people would not show up again.
Yeah.
So they really like it.
Everyone is welcome to the 6 a.m. club. So
Absolutely.
even if you don't make money, or if you don't have a car, or you can come. Like,
There's no excuses.
Yeah,
man. We got
just
people
come.
coming in bicycles and Ubers. Like,
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
guy yesterday. He showed up in an Uber.
Yeah.
People show up in bicycles. I remember last year I had guys show up in little electric scooters.
Yeah.
yeah,
People walking. Like,
Yeah.
dude, like we respect you more. Like if
Yeah.
you show up and you're taking the bus or you're walking, it's even more respect. It's like, dude, we have cars, so it's easy for us to drive a couple minutes or be there. But you took the bus, you took an Uber. That's like an extra step.
yeah.
So, dude, there's a people with cars who live 1 minute away from the meetup and they're not showing up.
crazy.
Like, think about it. So, respect to all of you guys showing up by Uber, bicycle or whatever, bus. Like, I really respect that because I believe it's a sign of success.
yeah.
Like, it's a trait. It's a trait of success. So, I remember when I first started, no excuses.
yeah.
If I had to fly, spend money on a flight and a hotel to meet a mentor or something in the States, I would put all my money. I was not afraid to risk it all.
Mm.
So, kudos for you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And one
nice.
thing I want to say also, just so we make this clear, guys and girls, everybody is able to join. There's not necessarily, I see a lot of comments asking us, do I have to have a Lambo? Do I have to have all these cars to join? Everybody's free. Okay, everybody's free to join. It's genuinely a best place for network, and I'm literally the biggest proof here of
Yes.
networking. So I recommend everybody to join. But one conversation I had with this guy inside, and I love this conversation because we were talking a lot about we're entrepreneurs, and in the business world, there's a lot of scams. There's a lot of good stuff that happens as well. So we were talking a little bit about the scams, but one question he had for me, which I loved, which is, what do you think in society are the biggest scams that are pretty much seen as normalized nowadays?
There's a lot, man. I feel like the biggest scam today is most of the school system.
Okay.
I think that's the biggest scam.
Fair enough,
Not
yeah.
all of it, but most of it. I feel like a lot of people go to school today just because it's the normality of it.
Right.
Especially like business school, especially when people don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
If you pay close attention, I think maybe 50 or 60% of the university students, they are not even sure they want to do what they're doing. You know,
Yeah.
people swap semesters all the time. They swap programs.
Yep.
They take a semester off. They come back. I need time for myself. I need to figure myself out. I'm not sure if that's for me. But the universities are getting paid.
Mm.
You know, like every semester they're getting paid. Student loans are real. I know a lot of my
Rising.
friends.
Mm.
They have a lot of student loans. They're still paying up until today.
Yeah.
So I genuinely believe a part of the school system is a big scam.
Mm.
People don't like that message, but it's true. It's
Yeah.
true. Like most people go to school with no plan,
Yeah.
just because it's the right thing to do.
Mm.
It's been
You know?
pushed on everybody, of
And
course.
you know, for example, let's compare that to the 6 a.m. club.
Yep.
Some people might find that weird because it's new, right? But every time we try to bring something new to society,
Mm.
there's going to be resistance in the
Yeah.
beginning because people are not used to the concept. But if it goes well, it takes time, and then you have what we call mass adoption. So what happened over time is the school system got mass adopted, which means
Yeah.
it became, when something gets mass adopted, people don't question it too much anymore.
Mm.
It might be good, it might be bad. I'm not saying it's all bad, but with mass adoption, people stop asking questions. It could be dangerous sometimes
Yeah.
because maybe you're in school spending 20 grand for a degree,
Yep.
and you don't even need to do that.
Yeah.
Crazy. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting because you said the school, and you're gonna get a lot of people having their own opinion on it, which is gonna be great. I'm excited to hear it. The question is, what do you think in school is a scam? Like, is there any majors you can talk about? Is there anything in specifically you're like, you know what? If you go to this, is at this point you're kind of like shooting yourself in the foot.
Okay. I'm going to answer this question in a very honest way. So, I've never been to business school
Okay.
myself. So, take my opinion with a grain of salt. I want to be fair to the school system, right? I don't like to judge stuff that I never tried, to be fair.
Right.
Because I have sometimes people try to judge my programs
And they've never
and
tried it.
I've never seen their face. You know, think about how ridiculous that is. Someone to give their opinion on my Road to the Million Mastermind or Academy, they never came once.
Yep.
I don't think that's a valid argument. So to defend a little bit the business schools, like I've never been there personally. I've never taken any of the programs, but I know there's a lot of people who've taken them, and I've seen like there's a lot of data out there.
Yep.
My program is new, so it's kind of like more exclusive right now. But if I look at the school system overall, like big schools, what are like the big schools here? Like HEC, you got John Molson School of
Yep.
Business. You got the one from McGill. I forgot the name. USG, UCAM. You have all of these. I think most of them, they're not as valuable as they used to be in the past
Right. Okay.
because society changed, and I don't feel like they're adapting fast enough. So I feel like a lot of people go to these schools just to get a degree. Let's just say just to flex, because it's a flex for most people to be like, I study at HEC.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you studying? At HEC.
HEC,
Where
yeah,
are you studying, man?
McGill.
GMSB, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, finance bros. You know what I'm saying? It's a flex.
We all
You guys
know that,
like
yeah.
it, but at the end of the day, you're getting scammed.
Yeah.
For most people. Most people. Not all of them. I have friends who study there. They have a plan. I'm happy for them. School is the right way. These schools are okay. But still, for the most part, I think most people are getting scammed.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay. And so there's also the argument that can come to that, which is, well, not everybody, we don't need more entrepreneurs, right? It's like if everybody's a business owner, then the society would crash or the economy would crash. It wouldn't, like, it's not sustainable. So what do you think of this argument where it's like, well, we still need people that, do basic jobs and that they still have to go to school to do it?
Yeah, that's a valid argument. I mean, I like to say, I feel like there's more people in school that should be entrepreneurs.
Okay.
That's my point. I'm not saying everybody should be an entrepreneur, but there's a lot of people listening to me today. Inside of you, you have a big potential to start your own thing. It's just like you never were exposed to it. So nobody ever gave you a shot. You never gave yourself a shot. So you're in the school system because you think it's meant for you because it's meant for most people.
Right.
Right? So I feel like the world needs more entrepreneurs, but I don't think everybody should be an entrepreneur.
Right.
But I think more people should be entrepreneurs from the school system.
Makes sense.
Nice.
Makes sense.
Yeah, talking about scams. Ray, I have a question for you. What are the major scams that are seen as normal in society right now?
Yeah. So to circle back on that, other than the school system, sometimes, not all of it, like I said.
Yeah.
Let's talk about cars. What do you think of cars?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I was about to say cars.
Yeah.
Cars, yeah.
Let's talk about leasing.
Yeah.
There we go. Finance, leasing,
Yeah.
all of that. Let's talk
Oh
about it.
man, bro, don't get me started on this. People don't believe me when I tell them I drive my supercar for free. People don't believe
They're
it.
all
How?
confused about it.
Tell us how.
How?
We want to drive. I want to have a Lamborghini for free. How?
People don't believe me when I tell them it's possible. But see, sometimes you need to have access to some information.
There we go.
So let me educate everybody on this. 95% of people probably are getting scammed with leases. Leases were created to benefit the dealerships and the banks.
Okay.
That's it. They're not for the consumer's benefit. So how a lease works is usually you go to the dealership, you lease, let's say, a Kia or a Honda for 3 years or a Mercedes, right? And then you bring it back after the end of the lease, and then they get the car back, and then they sell it again, or they lease it again. They CPO it, certified pre-owned, and then they lease it again, or they sell it. So they have a lot of, like, you know, along the way, the journey of the lifetime of the car, they make a lot of money every single year.
Makes sense.
Like when you first sign the lease, they make money. When you bring the car back,
They make money.
they make money. When they lease it again, they make money,
make
or
money,
they sell it. So it's a good system for dealers and banks.
Yeah, they make
Okay.
they make money with the commission that they
Yeah.
take from the brand, and also they take commission from the interest rate of the
Yeah.
bank. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have two source of income
Yeah,
by buying you
yeah.
a lease, by selling you a lease. Sorry.
Absolutely. So yeah, I do believe most people are getting scammed getting into car leases. I don't care what car it is. If it's a BMW, it's a Mercedes, it's a Honda, it's a Toyota, it's a Kia. Most of them are scam. And let me explain to you why.
Yep.
So basically, basic like math for cars. Very simple. You purchase, let's take my car as an example. You purchase an Audi R8.
Yep.
Let's say the car is worth $200,000. So you purchase it at $200,000. You don't lease it. You purchase it. Let's say you drive it for a year, because let's say you like to switch cars every year.
Yeah.
After a year, let's say the market is pretty good.
Mhm.
The car, let's say, held its value pretty up because it's discontinued now.
Yep.
Let's say you were able to sell it at the same price, which is very possible, by the way.
Yeah.
So you drive it, you put a little bit of miles on it, and then you exit at the same price that you bought it. So basically, you drove the car for free.
Right.
Yeah.
You paid $200 for the car, and then you exited at exactly the same price that you bought it. If you financed it, which makes sense for a $200,000 car,
course.
you would have only paid the interest on it.
Yeah.
So it's still a pretty good win for most people.
Yep.
A lot of people don't see it that way. They see it like, oh, what are the monthly payments? That's the biggest mistake people do.
Yeah.
Oh, can I afford this car? What are the monthly payments? The dealers are like,
Yep.
ching, ching, ching. You know, they're like super happy. Like, this
Yeah.
is, if you think like that,
Yeah.
if you look at your bank account, like I can probably afford $600 a month. I can probably afford $1,200 a month. The dealers are in heaven, bro. They're like, oh man, these guys, man, like they only think about monthly payments. So I need to convince the guy that it's in his budget and he's gonna buy it. And then they make profits like crazy.
Absolutely.
I have a better one. Not monthly payment, bi-weekly payment.
Bi-weekly,
Bi-weekly payment. bro.
bi-weekly payments. Don't get me started on those. So
Yeah.
okay, so leasing overall is not the best option for most people, even for regular cars. Because I know I used my supercar as an example. I can use my G-Wagon as another example. Then I'll get into like regular cars. So G-Wagon, right? You can buy one right now. My generation. Okay, my G-Wagon is 2016. So it's a
Yeah.
little older. So you can buy one of those right now if you go on the market for probably 100 grand.
Yeah.
90, 100, 110,
Not bad.
depending on the condition. Like you're in a G-Wagon for 100 Gs. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Right.
You buy it, you inspect it. Of course, it's an older car. You make sure there's no problem. You can maybe purchase a extended warranty for a little more money, which is
Yeah,
just
yeah.
for peace of mind, because in case something breaks down. But it's still pretty good. Like about 100 grand, you're in a G class, and then you drive it for a year or two, and then you
Yeah.
sell it for maybe like 80 or 85. You're still on your money. It's still
Yeah.
worth it, you know. But most people, what they do, listen to me, they go to the Mercedes dealer, they lease a brand new G-Wagon, G63, 2023,
Yeah.
2024. Monthly payments are like 5 Gs a month.
Yo, bro.
Okay,
Crazy.
hold on. It's a lease. So they're going to lease it for 36 months. Let me do the math. So G-Wagon, 2023, brand new, you lease it. It's let's just say it's 5,000 a
grand.
month.
Yep.
Makes sense, roughly, times 36 months. So you're paying $180,000 over 3 years. So you're losing your net worth, whatever you're worth as a human being, is decreasing almost $200,000 just because you want to drive the new G-Wagon.
Yeah.
And most people do it because they just want to flex and they want to kind of like stretch themselves a little bit. They want to have like a new version of the car. They want to have the new tech. They want to have the new feature. They want to have the new body, which is, it's pretty expensive. Like 200 Gs over
It's a
3
lot
years.
of money. It's not
I know how much I'm losing on my G-Wagon, by the way. Like
Yeah.
I bought it almost 3 years ago
Yeah.
and it's costing me way less than 180 Gs. Just to be
Right.
clear, I'm almost in my money. I'm almost, basically, I bought it for a specific price. I'm selling it at a loss a little bit because I drove it for 3 years, obviously, but it's like insignificant compared to what I just show right now. So you can buy a G-Wagon, lose 10, 15, 20,000 on it over 2-3 years, and you're good. Most people, they're going to go lease a Civic
Yeah.
for $600 a month. Let me do the math. You lease a Civic for $600 a month for 36 months, let's just say. They're getting expensive these days.
Yeah.
So you're paying $21,000 for your Civic, which is more that I pay for my G-Wagon.
And you need to give the car back when the leasing contract is ending.
Yeah.
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 So you don't own the car. So
don't
you're
even-
paying the full price and you don't own it.
Lease is like a rental. It's
So
like a
then-
long-term rental.
Why then, if this is the case, right? People losing money, people are getting genuinely scam. Leasing is not something that everybody should do. So why do people still do it?
It's just programming. It's programming.
Yeah.
It's normalized. It's
Insane.
easy. It's simple. You know what they do? They're like, you know what? Peace of mind. That's how they sell it to you. You know, you pay simple monthly payments for 2, 3, 4 years. Then you bring us the keys back, and then we'll get you into your new car.
Right.
And most people, they want to stretch themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not stretch them, but they want to kind of like feel richer than they are. That's that's what keeps people broke. What keeps people broke is they want to feel richer than they actually are.
100%.
So basically, you go to the dealer. You don't want to drive a Honda. You want to go to Mercedes.
Yeah.
You want to go to Audi. You want to go to BMW.
Yep.
Even if you can't technically afford it, if the monthly payments of a lease are a little smaller than financing the car, you might be excited about it. You know, that's how most people get hooked. So it's like the monthly payments. They're like, you know what? Or yeah, bi-weekly. It's only $249 per bi-weekly. It's only, you know, and they
Yeah.
get you in, but they're making all these commissions and fees and hidden
Yeah.
fees.
Yep.
They're getting, you know,
Yeah,
money.
the
Absolutely.
bi-weekly thing, it's just a marketing strategy to make you buy the car.
Yeah.
To take the lease. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me
absolutely.
give a little bit of advice for everybody looking to buy cars. All right. So if you're into like entry level cars, which are great cars by the way, like I started with a Civic. Civic is a good car. So Honda Civic, Toyotas, you know, Camrys, Corollas, all of these like entry level cars. Try not to buy them used. Try not to buy them new. That's my advice to you. Try to get them used. So the rule of thumb: always make sure the car has depreciated for a few years. Usually 3 to 5 years is the best kind of like sweet spot from my experience. So say you're looking into a Civic. Now we're in 2024. Try to look for like a 2018, 2019, 2020, maybe 2021 models, depending on the deals you get. And if you buy it from a Honda dealership, they might even include extended warranty for free on the car. So that's what I would tell you to do. Same thing for, you know, German brands like Mercedes,
Yep.
BMW, Audis. These two, man, these depreciate pretty fast.
Yeah.
If you take, for example, the BMW 3 Series, the 2021 and 2020 and 2019 model, these go for like 30 grand right now.
Yeah,
And when they
insane.
were new, they were like maybe 50, 60 grand. So they lose 40 to 50% value in like 3 to 4 years. So you're into a 3 Series, 2020, let's say, for the price of a Civic.
Yeah, it's
Crazy.
basically the same car.
Yeah.
Like it's the same
Nothing
car.
changed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
same
The,
just
car,
the
30K
body
bucks.
looks the same.
Yeah.
Same.
Even
Everything
the-
looks the same.
even the interior.
Yeah.
Same thing.
So you guys have to find like sweet spots for a car. I feel like we should do a podcast or something.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. We're gonna talk
Yeah,
about
I have a lot
cars,
of
yeah.
knowledge on this because I have passion for cars. I like
Yeah.
cars. I also had a good mentor that really, really, really helped me. So shout out to my mentor, Pejman Gadimi, Exotic Car Hacks. He changed my life back in 2017.
Yeah,
I remember I joined his Facebook group.
yeah.
It was a paid group, like $300, $400 back in the days with a course. You know, everybody thought it was a scam and things like that. He was like advertising, get into your first exotic for free
Yeah.
in 90 days.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm a big risk taker. So like
Yeah.
I bought the course. And I think we were like 400 people in the group or something. I think now he has over 20 or 30,000 people in
Wow,
the group over
okay.
time. Yeah. So
Huge.
respect to PJ. Thank you very much for your knowledge. And I'm trying to give back from everything I learned. Yeah. So buy a car used, 3 to 5 years old. Always make sure you inspected. And if you buy it at the dealer, try to have an extended warranty included with it.
Beautiful.
Same thing for supercars.
Yeah.
Supercars don't even depreciate that much. So that's what people don't know. That's the trick.
Mm.
Like the higher you go on the expensive cars, they don't always depreciate that much, but it depends on the models
Yeah.
and it depends on the market.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So
For sure. Well, you know what? I don't think we should, talk about cars for that long, but there's, I think, one more thing I want to ask you about it, which is financing versus leasing. Which one's better?
yeah, financing for the most part. So
100%.
listen, leasing is only acceptable if you're trying to do like a tax write-off on your company.
Right.
So say you own a company, you want to lease the car, it could be acceptable. It's not that bad. But if you're an individual with no business and you're leasing your cars, you're getting destroyed because you
Right.
can't even claim it as a tax write-off and you're basically just losing money every month. So if you're a personal, you're not a business, you're an individual,
Mm-hmm.
you should never lease your cars. You should always finance it and buy it a couple years old. If you're a business owner and you have a corporation and you want to lease it for tax purposes, it's more acceptable. But even if you have a business, you should still buy it if you can.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Got
I
it.
have a last question in this subject. So, you said leasing it's not good. Now we have two other options: financing and buying it cash. What do you think is the best between finance a car or buying it cash?
Yeah, I think buying it cash is stupid.
Why?
It's completely stupid.
Why you don't have debt?
Yeah,
You lose
I
a big
understand
amount
that
one
point,
shot.
but it's stupid because let's say the car is like 50 grand.
Yeah.
If you actually have 50 grand in the bank, you got to make it work.
Mm.
You got to invest it. You got to, grow it, multiply it.
Yeah.
50 needs to turn into 100.
Mm.
If you lock it into a car that's depreciating in value every year, you're a loser.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Mm.
Like, don't buy your cars in full. If you have cash, you have to invest the money.
Mm.
So I'm from that mentality. My mom disagrees with me, my family too.
Yeah.
There's like an older mentality for
Yeah,
that.
my family
Yeah.
also. Yeah.
Yeah, but I know their point. I know where they're
Yeah.
coming from. They're like, you know what? It's paid off. We need to worry. We need to worry about it.
Yeah.
No debt.
Mm.
Which is I understand. But for like people like us trying to grow
Mm.
our revenue very fast,
Yeah.
it's money we can use.
Mm.
So that's why all my cars, I always do them on monthly payments. I try to do as minimum as a cash down as possible.
Right.
So on my R8, I needed to do a cash down, did a little bit, a couple thousand, like 30 grand cash down, I think roughly on the car. So, I mean, obviously like on less expensive cars, like a Mercedes C-Class, you can
Yeah.
put like 3,000 to 5,000 down, sometimes even zero down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can work. But on supercars, usually you need to put a little bit more.
Also, at what point in your business journey should you consider having a car payment and putting yourself in debt with cars?
Okay. So this is a good question.
Because a lot of people are doing errors with this.
I definitely agree. So here's the point I'd like to make. If your car is not making you money, you probably shouldn't buy it.
Yeah.
I feel like a car should be like an investment
Mm.
if you know how to use it properly. So let me
Yeah.
give you an example. When I bought the Audi R8, which is my first supercar, I made a promise to myself, like, you know what? I want to create a little bit of content with it. So I wanted to go to CJEPs with my educational company,
Yeah.
give, rides in my supercar to students, give them free gifts and gift cards, bring them to take coffee with me and things like that. Just do fun stuff for my community, right?
Yeah.
So like I can use that as content. I can get more views and people can discover my services at the same time.
Yeah.
So I made a commitment, like, you know what? It's a big expense. Although I'm not losing money on it, like I explained, these cars don't depreciate.
Yep.
But I had to justify it. I was like, you know what? At least I'll try to make the most out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but most people, I don't think they think like that. I think they're like, I like this Audi RS5. I like the C43. I like these cars. I just want to get it right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So this mindset is like, if the car is not really serving you that much, if the car is not making you more money or like helping you network with people, like just bringing any benefits to your life, you should probably wait if you're not in a super good financial position.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Okay. So, what type of business you should have a supercar to make more money? Can you give us like some examples?
I mean, it can apply to everyone if you use it for networking purposes.
I would agree.
If
Yeah.
I'm being honest. Like I met most of the coolest people I know today, very powerful and rich people that I'm very close with because of my supercar.
Yeah.
I know great people. There's a good friend of mine. He owns over 100 restaurants
Yeah.
and more. He's very, very successful. He just, sponsored me for one of my last events I did. 200 people showed up.
Yeah.
He sent me almost 3,000 sushis for free.
Yeah.
It was a good. So thanks again for that. You know who he is. But yeah, networking, connections. I met him because of the car. He's like, oh, you like cars? I like cars. Let's become friends.
Yeah.
So that's it. You never know who you can meet.
Mm.
So yeah, I would say it can benefit everyone, but there's also a time for it.
Yeah.
Because I know it could benefit you. It can benefit you. It can benefit everybody listening to it. But you should probably like not stretch yourself too much.
Yeah.
And you have to be comfortable doing the payments. Like I said,
Absolutely.
I'm not losing money on my car. My car is free. I'm not paying I'm paying the monthly payments.
Yeah.
But as soon as I'm going to exit the car, I'm going to get my money back. And that's
Yeah.
what people forget about, the exit part.
Yep.
So everybody's like, oh, the monthly payments are this. This is the price of the car. Yeah, but what's going to happen when you return the car?
Yeah.
The exit strategy. Everybody forgets about, everybody's like, oh, entry, like exit.
Mm.
So That's the
That's a
thing.
good way to look at it.
Nice.
And you know what? Because now we're talking about cars, we're talking about associating it with the business, etc. Right? So let's go back, I guess, into the business aspect of things. Because first of all, I think having a good business that's stable, it's always very good when it comes down to cars. But let's jump into who should actually get into business. Now, let's talk about the age a little bit. What is an age that you say, somebody could actually try to jump into a business? Would you say you're okay with somebody that's 16 years old trying a business, or there's, a certain age that you would kind of like to see, learn skills in life and then jump into creating your own business?
The younger, the better.
Okay.
I think Warren Buffett started investing around 12, if I'm not mistaken.
Great. 12.
Yeah, I think Bill Gates was building Microsoft in his teens.
Insane.
A lot of successful people started very young. Now, if you're older listening to this, it doesn't mean it's too late.
Yeah.
The correct answer is as soon as possible.
Yeah.
There's no minimum for the age. A lot of people, I have very successful students in my academy.
Yep.
There's one member in my mastermind. He's making over 10,000 a month. He's 17.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's like, he doesn't want to go to school anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have another member. He's 18. I think he's racking in 10, 20 G's a month as well.
Beautiful.
He's doing landscaping and stuff. Dude, 16, 15, 17, you
Yeah,
know.
Money's everywhere.
Money's
One guy
everywhere.
also have a tattoo shop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This
This guy.
guy's killing it.
This guy's killing it. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's a little older, but you never, dude, age is like just a number.
It is.
Who cares? Like 16 or 60. Today is the younger you'll ever be.
I like
Yeah.
that. And would you say that, let's just say you're somebody that's young, 17, example, let's say 17 years old, you're making, let's say, over 10K a month, or even let's just say you're pushing the 30K a month, example, right? Would you still consider that at that age, you should take the risk and jump into getting a big debt as like a car? Let's just say you have the money to spend. Would you recommend a younger guy to take this risk?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
If you're the younger you are, the cooler it is.
Nobody cares about the guy
Yeah.
16 in a Bugatti. Yeah.
Listen, the younger you are,
Yeah.
the cooler it is, the more impressive it is.
Yeah.
Let's just keep it real.
For sure.
But it has to be a smart decision.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So you have to have money set aside in case something happens. You have to have a good driving record. If you lost your license, you keep getting pulled over, speeding tickets. If you do that in a Honda, forget about the Lambo,
Makes
right?
sense.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard. It's very risky. But so if you do it properly, and if you study it properly before you do it, if you're 18, 19, and you're making 30 grand a month net, and you can afford an R8, a G-Wagon, a Lambo,
it.
and you want to do it, do it.
Do it.
What are the percentage of people owning a car? You're like the youngest one in the country or whatever, like
Yeah.
top 10.
Insane. Yeah.
It's a cool accomplishment. You know, I got my first cool car at 27, which is still pretty good. But
Still young.
sometimes I'm like, I wish I had it earlier.
What was the
Yep.
model?
The G-Wagon?
Oh, the G-Wagon. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I bought a G-Wagon at 27 and I bought the R8 at 29 just so I can say I bought my supercar in my 20s.
Yeah.
Sick.
You know,
Sick.
Before
Absolutely.
the G-Wagon, what did you have?
I had a lot of cars. I had a Range Rover Sport.
Nice.
It's a nice car. I like
Yeah.
Range Rovers. I had a Porsche Cayenne GTS. Very
Mhm.
nice car as well. And I had a BMW 335i and
Yeah.
performance. That was
Mm.
pretty cool too. Exhaust system was amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, the Porsche Cayenne, Range Rover, these were nice cars. I always liked big cars.
Yeah. What about the Tesla?
Oh, I forgot about this one.
Let's talk
So
about
I
that.
did. You're exposing me on camera. Right now. Okay,
Tesla.
I'll admit I bought a Tesla. Okay,
Wow,
I
man.
bought a Tesla for 3 months,
That's it.
Okay.
and then I had to get rid of it.
Why?
I bought an R8 instead.
Ah.
I mean, it's a big it's
I
an
think it's
upgrade,
not the
man.
best
I mean,
decision. No, I'm joking. but
I had the G-Wagon, and then I remember I bought like the Tesla.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was a Model Y performance.
Oh.
Dude, it was a speed demon.
Mhm.
0 to 100, 3.7 seconds. It was pretty cool. The car was very luxurious inside. It had like a moonroof. Very
Wow.
nice. Very comfortable. More like headroom than the Model 3. Model 3 is a little compact.
Yep.
So Model Y was really nice. A lot of trunk space. It was a beautiful car. Very fast. I remember I was racing with like a C63S and an RS5, and I
Sick.
just passed in the middle, and I
Holy.
smoked both. Like it's a flex. You know, it's a very fast car.
It's just cricket
But
noises on the street.
There's
You
no,
don't-
there's no noise.
You don't hear
No
for
noise,
shit.
you know. So I'm a noise guy. You
Yeah.
know, G-Wagon is pretty noisy. It's a G63, and I drove it for 3 months. It was fun, but I was like, I think I want something else. So I got rid of it,
Yeah.
and then I got the R8 like a couple months later.
Insane.
Nice.
Right. And
Nice.
one thing I want to say, and this is also, I'm a big guy that I love, getting value. I love giving people value as well. So one thing I want to ask you, man, and this is comes back into a business, which is, look, we talked a little bit about adaptability before. You have to adapt. That's how you grow a business. You can't just stay in the same, 2017 business is not 2024 business. It's always different. So I want to ask from you, I want to know your stance on it is, how do you adapt? Let's just say you have a business, or if let's say you don't, how do you go ahead and adapt to whatever you want to do?
Okay, so first things first, if you want to change anything in your life, you need to be influenced by other people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we're the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with.
Absolutely.
So let's say you want to adapt more, get yourself into a new environment. Come to the 6 a.m. meeting.
You will meet a lot of
You know,
people.
come talk to me. Come talk to Daniel. Come talk to Yasin.
Yes, sir.
Great. I have a good friend. He's also a self-made millionaire. A lot of great people. If you want change in your life, you need to change your environment first. Don't change your habits. Don't change your business model. Change the people you spend time with, because they're going to give you answers and perspectives you've never seen before.
So environment is always going to be the most important
Yes. Every time I feel blocked, I go and I travel and I spend 2 days with my mentor.
Nice.
And he opens my eyes every single time. Because I think like, oh, I'm trying to solve the problem by myself.
part. Right.
And I can't seem to see like a solution.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go with him and he's like, oh, did you try to approach it from that angle? Like, no. And he always wakes me up. And so environment, the people you spend time with. Any problem you have, someone else has an answer for it.
Yeah.
It's not always you.
For sure. I like that a lot.
Nice.
And yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, talking about this, okay, Ray. Who are your top 3 business entrepreneurs in the world apart from Ty Lopez? Because I know he's your mentor. You're gonna say he's the best.
A little bit biased.
He's the best for you, but
Yeah.
we want to know like other names. What for you are the top 3 business entrepreneur in the world?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty locked in on my stuff right now. So I'm just kind of working a lot, talking to Ty. With Ty Lopez, he's my first mentor. Alex Hormozy.
Great guy.
Alex Hormozy, bro, this guy is growing like crazy.
Genius.
Also, he gets a lot of hate. Like,
Yeah.
I go check out his Instagram sometimes, the comments.
Yeah.
People are so negative energy.
Yeah.
Dude, the guy's giving free value. You know, he's helping people out. It's actually good videos.
Yep.
Have you guys ever watched any?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Really, I learn every day. Every time I watch a new video, like I take notes. I'm like learning from the guy.
Yep.
And yeah, so Alex Hormozy, I think he's on the rise. He's been on the rise for a couple of years, and it's because he's just giving so much value. His business model is so great. He's like, he said it himself. He's open about it. He's like, I want to give as much value as possible to the world. And a lot of you guys are going to start making money. And when you start making money, I
You
want to
come to
partner
him.
up,
Yeah.
and then we make money together. So he takes equity in your company.
Crazy.
It's a model. It's a
Yeah.
model, right? At the end of the day. And it's funny because a lot of people say like, "Oh, Alec is such a good guy. He does things for free," which is right, But at the same time, like he also wants to make money. Like his goal, like if he helps, it's a numbers game. If he helps 1 million people, make more money, or let's say he reaches 1 million people, the top 1% are gonna make a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. There's gonna be people making 10, 20, 30 million a year because of Alex's free help. Then they're gonna come back to Alex because of the rule of reciprocation, because they're gonna feel like they got so much value out of him.
You have to give
They
back.
have to give back.
Yep.
So they're gonna be like, the first person they're gonna think about is gonna be Alex Hormozy. So he's gonna end up taking 50% of their companies, let's say, and then he's gonna make 20 million.
Yeah.
It's not free. It's not free. People think it's free, but at the end of the day, when you go to the end of the customer journey, what we call,
Yeah.
he got paid 20 mil.
But everybody wins.
Yes, no, it's good. I'm not
Everybody
saying
wins.
he's like
Yeah,
a scam.
absolutely.
I respect the
No,
guy.
100%.
I love his model. I think it's genius, actually. But I just want to make it clear to the audience. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, this guy is charging up front.
Mhm.
It's good. It's fine.
Yep.
Some people charge up front.
Yep.
Some people charge in the middle. Some people
You'll
charge at the end.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a business model. You pick whatever you prefer.
100%.
So Alex Hormozy would be on the top 3.
Yeah.
Elon Musk.
Yeah,
Why
absolutely.
Elon
Yes,
Musk?
sir.
I'm not gonna lie. One of the reasons why I bought Tesla was because of Elon Musk.
Okay.
See how personal brand is important.
Yeah.
Like, I respect Elon Musk. I love everything he does. He's a visionary, very smart guy, obviously. And I was like, I like Tesla because I like Elon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I respect that. So I ended up buying one.
He have influence on the crypto charts.
He does.
Yeah.
He has a
This
lot.
guy posts one tweet and goes up or down,
Yeah.
man. It's crazy.
Yeah, so I would say Ty Lopez, Alex Hormozy, Elon Musk.
Yep.
And I would say that would be my top 3.
Oh, nice.
Beautiful.
Nice. Daniel, who are your top 3 business entrepreneurs?
Man, I mean, okay, so look, obviously I'm not in the same level where my mentor is, let's say, Ty Lopez or whatnot. Like I'm I'm perfect where I am. And I think I would say I look up to a lot of people. That's how I would say it. And so in this situation, I look up to, obviously, and I'm gonna be super blunt with it, Andrew Tate, 100%,
nice.
absolutely. A lot of people would be ashamed to say it. Andrew Tate, 100%. This guy saved my life. This guy I started from nothing, and just watching his video, I got a lot of accountability, 100%. I would definitely say Alex Hormozy is one of them. Beautiful, love the guy, a lot of free value. And in terms of last one, man, to be honest with you, I don't have that many guys. I would just say Elon Musk he's a genius. So I did definitely learn a lot, but it's not like I have three. I would say Andrew Tate and Alex Hormozy were kind of like my top two. For sure.
Nice.
For sure, man.
Me on my side, I'll say Andrew Tate also, top one. I really like Andrew Tate. Second one, Luke Belmore. Luke Belmore, he's a good guy. He's underrated, I think. Luke Belmore. Third one, Yomi Denzel. He's like a French one. So yeah, if you don't
like
know
him.
Yomi Denzel,
You like,
Yomi Denzel, man, he's a good one.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what do you guys like most about Andrew Tate?
The honesty, the fact that a lot of guys nowadays, they always want to sugarcoat everything. It's all bullshit. What you want to do when you talk to a guy is tell him straight up, this is your life, this is why it's going down, this is where you can be, and you got to be accountable with yourself to be where you want to be. And I feel like there was a lack of, this generation, everybody's so soft, man. There's just a bunch of snowflakes everywhere. You say one thing wrong and everybody cancels you, whatever that bullshit culture is. I genuinely think that right now it's just because he's super honest and blunt, and he has the actual balls to say whatever he needs to say.
Yeah. And he's not scared of saying the truth. So I respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about Andrew Tate, Raymond?
I think a lot of the things he says are really good.
Yeah.
I remember I discovered him, I think, before everybody else.
Yeah.
I think the first time I watched an Andrew Tate video, it was maybe in 2018 or 2019.
Oh.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. He had 4,000 subscribers on YouTube,
Mm.
25,000 followers on Instagram. I could have been his friend. Literally, at this point, I could have been a friend. I remember I saw, and I was like, this guy is interesting.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I'm not gonna lie. Like, his videos were really like blunt. So even me shocked me at the beginning. But then I started listening. I was like, this guy is not talking shit. He's just like hitting people right in the face with what they need to hear for the most part. So yeah, he influenced me in a positive way a lot.
Yep.
I never got the chance to meet him yet. We have friends in common, but
That's already crazy, man. That's already crazy. One thing you said earlier, and let's go back a little bit, which is the environment, right? It's important to switch environment to actually be where you want to be. So what do you think of the people that say that let's just say they acknowledge that I need to change friends, I need to actually have a better circle, but they say it, but they never do it?
Yeah. So that's basically what happens today. This is the problem of today's society. People talk too much,
right?
And nobody's doing action. That's why it's easy, once again, to type hate comments on the 6 a.m. club instead of just showing up.
Yeah, for sure.
So keyboard warriors, man, like it's people just talk. There's no more weight behind people's words. People say something, it doesn't even mean anything.
Yep.
People don't respect their own word anymore. So yeah, it's a weird society.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And one thing I can say is, if you're able to go through, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I think everybody in business should know and definitely knows about it. But for the people that don't, because I think we have a lot of people that, let's say, sometimes are not into business, I still want you to explain something. Why exactly? Because some people be like, oh, it's not because I hang out with 5 millionaires, I'm going to become what if I don't, right? So what is the exact explanation to that? Some people might not know it.
Yeah, so you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Right. So even when you look back in the days, there was something called the PayPal mafia. You guys should look it up.
I actually have no idea what that is.
So Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, a bunch of guys were just like regrouped together and they built like the biggest companies. I think the guy who built Airbnb was there. The guy who built
big companies.
Big companies. You guys should look it up. The PayPal mafia. This happened because of a lot of like-minded smart minds got together. So they started building companies together. All these guys, they ended up doing something huge, like multi-billion-dollar companies. They're all billionaires today. So people who underestimate the power of friends and connections, it's a big, big thing. So I would say that's why I created the road to the million. Man.
Yep.
That's why I created it. For those of you who don't know my story, by the way, sometimes I kind of assume people know, so I'll share it again. I dropped out of school, quit my job, and then I started my first business.
Right.
We helped over 50,000 students in college with, getting better grades and tutoring and the services we offer. I did that for like 6-7 years. I made my first million. It was a very successful business. We worked very, very hard. And after making my first million in the business, I realized that I was pretty good at business.
Yeah.
So after 6-7 years of experience in the service type industry, I was like, let me help other people do the same. And then I created the road to the million. So basically I created everything I wish I had when I was a lonely entrepreneur.
For the new guys.
Don't believe in the lone wolf hype.
Oh, it's bullshit.
Yes, you need people. Andrew Tate, he has Tristan, he has Justin Waller.
Full team.
You have all these connections all around the world. That's why they're strong and successful. You need a solid network of people. So that's why I started the road to the million. I was like, I made my first million. So let me do my best and help the next generation of entrepreneurs have someone by their side so that they have a shot at making their first million as well.
Yeah.
So
being around the good people.
and I created as an in-person community as a start too, because I was like, you know what? It's good to have good people around you, like a little small PayPal mafia, you know,
I like that.
in
I like
Montreal. So that's what I'm trying to create a little bit. And a lot of people are getting great results, man. Like I got this guy, he runs one of the biggest tattoo shops here. I remember he came to me, man. He was depressed. He was not doing good. He's like, Ray, I'm making all this money, but it's all going at the end of the month. I don't know where to I have no profits. I'm
Crazy.
and from the outside, everything looks good. And I'm like, one consultation with me, he was in the Road to the Million Mastermind. I changed his business. I was on the phone with him yesterday. He's like, Ray, I made like 35,000 profit last month net. He's like, I'm paying off some old debts I have. I paid my rent comfortably.
Insane.
I have money left over. And he's like, I want to spend more time with you. Let's try to get to 100K in a month net. So I'm trying to help him to go from 50K net, 100K net a month. Like these are real people, real stories. Like, he's in the mastermind. We were at the dinner. You guys know who he is.
Yeah.
So
Great person.
like, dude, sometimes you just need like a quick, switch of environment. He succeeded because of the environment and just meeting the right people. He's been in the business for a long time, but he needed 1 or 2 pieces of information that help him transform his business 180 degrees. And then boom, now the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of crazy stories like that every day in the community. You guys see it. It's real.
We're gonna invite some of RTTM members to the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna have some of the members. I'll do like a panel.
Yeah.
And let these people talk, so you guys know from the outside what it looks like in the inside. Because I'm gonna be honest, like I don't think it's fair to judge something if you never tried it.
For sure.
So I invite everybody to give it a shot before giving an opinion.
I like that. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of people here, and I mean, it comes down to there's gonna probably be a lot of questions from these guys, and just say, okay, well, you guys have the RTTM, you guys have the academy, you guys have the mastermind. What if I'm not able to join? Let's just say maybe what if financial I'm not in the best state, or maybe what if I'm not even in Montreal?
Okay,
right?
okay.
Where do we even go?
Yeah, let me start with this and let me be clear. Not having the money is not a valid excuse.
For sure. Of course.
Don't agree with this. Because I remember I had no money back then.
Still made it happen.
I still made it happen.
Yep.
I figured out a way. Go do Uber Eats on the side. Do an extra shift at work. You're just lazy.
Yep.
You're just lazy. You just admit it to yourself. You don't want to take a risk. You're lazy. And you want guarantees. People like guarantees. This is not good. When someone approaches me and they're like, is it guaranteed I'm going to become a millionaire? I'm like, no. No. Anybody who sells you a guarantee is selling you a dream. And I'm not that guy.
Red flag.
Red flag right there.
Yep.
So I tell people all the time, money should not be an excuse. If you really want something, if it's really important for you to make money and be stable financially, make your first 10,000 a month, 20,000 a month, and go for the million, you got to start somewhere.
Yep.
And that's why I don't price my programs too high. Like my entry level is like roughly about 300 a month. Like
extremely doable.
300 a month. I priced it on purpose so that anybody with no money has 30 days to collect $300. That's $10 a day.
When you put it that way, it's actually very embarrassing.
$10 a day. So that's why I have no tolerance. When people come to me and like, oh, and they're hesitant and like, is there a money back guarantee? I'm like, bro, try it for a month and see for yourself. Like,
it's crazy.
Guarantees are making people weak.
Yep.
I don't like to give guarantees. I encourage people to be risk takers because life is going to hit you back in the face. If you're always reliant on some government help, any type of like guarantee.
Yeah, safety net.
One day you will wake up and you're going to have a surprise, my friend.
Yeah.
You're not going to be ready for it. It's going to hit you in the face. So I prefer to build my people strong. I prefer to build my people ready. I want people to be ready, right? So that's why if you can't come up with $300 to give yourself a shot, I don't think you have a shot at business. So you better not join the community.
I agree.
The minimum
100%.
salary right now is $15 an hour.
Okay, let's do.
If
Come
you
on,
work
let's do
1 hour
quick
a
some
day,
math.
You do 1
a
hour,
day.
1 hour,
Yeah,
a day.
yeah.
and you can afford it.
The academy,
And you
yeah.
have more the academy is like $10 a day. So
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like, genuinely, there's no
You
excuse.
have more money for the ads. So, yeah.
I
Yeah.
like that. I like that.
And also, I'm really sure that you wished having Uber Eats when you were young.
dude, I would be
Oh, man.
I would be doing Uber Eats all the time. I think
10,000 a
Uber
month.
Eats is a good start. It's not the best money. Okay,
Yeah.
it's not the best money, but it's good. It's good vibes. You know, you go in your car, you bring your girl with you,
Yeah, it's
you
fun.
bring a friend with you, you drive in, you make 15, 20 bucks an hour, whatever. Maybe with some bonuses, you can make more sometimes, maybe sometimes less. But at least you can listen to an audiobook.
Have
You can
freedom.
be listening to this podcast and getting paid at
Yeah.
the same time. Dude, people have free time. You have 16 hours a day. You're going to tell me you can't figure out how to come up with 300 bucks.
Yeah.
Like, it's just BS to me. It's like,
Mm.
and people want reassurance. They're like, oh, but you don't know my situation. I have some, bro,
Stop.
just stop.
Just stop. Yeah.
Stop, man.
Mm.
Yeah. 100%.
I have a question, a really important question for you, Ray. Okay. I think a lot of people are asking themselves this question. What do you think is the more important? Getting rich first or being in shape first?
Getting rich.
Why?
That was a fast answer.
Getting rich.
Why? Me, I think being in shape first is better.
I disagree.
Why?
I want to go for the hard thing first.
But
Okay.
but being in shape can make you more money because people will respect you more.
A little more money. Not significant. You're not gonna get rich just because you have a
Nah,
six
I
pack.
think you're gonna have more confidence in yourself.
You will. I agree.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna become a millionaire just because you're fit.
Daniel, what do you think?
Man, I've seen stuff online. I know a lot of people tell me I would respect you more. I would do business with you if you're more fit. I've seen that 100%. Now I do understand where you're coming from because you don't necessarily genuinely need a fit pack like a six pack to make millions. I do understand that point, but I do also understand that some people would do business with you if you're pretty
Okay,
jacked.
so let me counter argument this. So would you do business with someone who's fit or someone who pulls up in a Lambo?
Both.
If you had to pick one, there's one dude, he's big, he's jacked, he's pull up in a 2004 Toyota Yaris trying to do business with you,
Yeah.
or someone who's tall, skinny, out of shape, pulls up in a Brabus or a Lambo. He wants to do business with you. He has a Lambo. It's his.
Man,
There's his
because
name on the license plate.
Because the first option, it's show that this guy have discipline. You have like
You think it doesn't take discipline to buy a Lambo?
maybe he scammed people. Maybe he did some crypto.
Assuming he did his money the right way.
Assuming.
Okay, I'll say the Lambo.
Okay.
Second option.
Okay. So you
Yeah.
prove my point.
Yeah, but man, okay.
Well, let me tell you where I'm coming from. Let me tell you
Yeah,
where I'm
okay.
from. I'm not saying, by the way, getting fit is not important. It's very important. And it's one thing, it's one of my biggest regrets. It's something I wish I started earlier in my career.
Yeah.
So in my early 20s, I wish I sticked more to the gym. I was just kind of like working in my cocoon in my office, which
Yep.
is still fine. I like how life turns out. But if I can go back, this is probably one thing I would improve. Take my fitness a little better.
Yeah.
But it's easy to get fit.
Mm.
It's not that hard,
Yeah.
right? So, and the reason why I know some people might say like, oh, if it's easy, why didn't you do it?
Mm.
And the argument is like, I was just focusing on making my first million. Like
Yeah.
I was putting all my energy and time to try to get rich,
Mm.
which is that's why I was not like in the best shape of my life. But
Yep.
anybody who really puts his head down, goes to the gym for 12 to 18 months, can literally turn their life around.
Yeah.
If you have a good workout program, you're sleeping well, you're eating well, 12 to 18 months, your body's going to be unrecognizable.
Yeah.
So it's not that hard to get in shape. Like if you really want to do it, you'll do it. And if you walk, to the gyms today, there's a lot of people in shape. There's a lot of people out of shape, but you see a lot of young guys, a lot of young chads, bro. They're looking
Yeah,
good.
very good.
17, 19, 21s. I went to some gyms sometimes with you guys. People look good.
Yep.
Yeah.
There are a lot of good looking people, but there's not a lot of Lambos,
Yeah.
right? I always wanted to be the one that's kind of like the top 1%, the one that's like, it's harder to replicate. So
Yeah,
let's say I
exactly.
figured out how to become a millionaire. It's way harder to. I know you nobody can catch up in 12 months.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? It's gonna take more. If you want to catch up to my level, it's gonna take you at least 3 to 5 years, and that's maybe if you make it,
Mm.
right? So I always wanted to solve the most difficult part first, and then start to work on my fitness later.
Yeah.
So it's a sacrifice. Listen, but now that I'm pretty good financially,
yeah.
I can literally hire. I have a private chef. Private chef, she cooks for me.
Food costs money, man.
I can have private trainer.
How much
I
you
have,
pay her?
I have a private gym, $5,000 a month.
5 grand. Oh,
Yeah, my private chef costs me $5,000 a month. I have a private gym
yeah.
that I pay. It's close to $1,000 a month. You know, I don't have a trainer right now, but I'm gonna get one soon. It's gonna probably cost me about $1,000 a month. So that's $7,000 a month. Just me investing in my health. I couldn't have done that like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, but now I have finances, so I can delegate this. So I can in 6 months get crazy results.
Yeah.
I already gained like 10 pounds in like 3-4 months, which is huge to me, by the way,
Yeah.
because I've always struggled to be like more on the skinny side. And for like years and years, I couldn't gain a single pound.
Yep.
So for the first time in my life, now that I set up my life with a private chef, with a private gym and everything else, I'm gaining weight. It's working and I'm getting more in shape and I'm getting stronger. I recently just, did a personal record. I benched 1 plate.
There we
It's
go.
not a lot for
There we
most
go.
people,
Yes,
but
sir.
for someone who's 130 pounds,
Yeah.
it's a good start,
Yep.
right? So, yeah, man. So that's what I would say.
I think it depends on the person. But maybe there's some people we need to focus on being in shape first because they have low confidence, they have bad health. It doesn't help them to focus on the business. And there's some people who should focus on being rich first. So
I think I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of
So-
like a 50-50 equation. Like
Yeah.
you have a part of the population should get fit first and the other one should get rich first.
yeah, what do you think about it, Daniel?
I would just say that with money, I mean, in a way, he's right. If you have money, man, food costs money. Like you go to you want to buy steak, you want to buy protein, man, it's gonna stack up. You're gonna have to pay, and it's every single day, weekly. The bill is gonna go up. You can hire a coach with money as well. You can hire one of the best coaches in fitness that can help you. So I do agree what he's saying. Me personally, I've been a guy where I jumped into fitness first. So it's like that's kind of how I went about it. I jumped into fitness. I was like, you know what? And I think it was also a little cope because I was like, I'm not necessarily making that much money back then. I was like, well, I need to
At
do
least
something.
you look good,
Yeah, exactly. At least I can go to the gym,
which
and
is
work on
good.
myself.
Which is good. It's good for most people. I encourage everybody to go to the gym. But
Yeah.
like I said, I've always wanted to be like unique in my age group.
Yep.
So I know that, let's say, becoming a millionaire in your 20s,
Yep.
I feel is like more of an accomplishment than becoming a millionaire in your 50s.
Yeah,
or 60s.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So for me, I was like, I want to gamble this time and invest my time in the finances direction instead of fitness. And maybe I'll do fitness super seriously when I'm 50. And now it's going to be, who do you think is going to get more respect? An 18-year-old in shape or a 58-year-old in shape? Who's going to get more respect?
58.
58. If you look at a 58, it could be your grandpa. And he's
The
like,
guy's
he can
super
bench
jacked,
you.
of course.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to respect that. Now, let me ask you this. Do you respect more a 58-year-old in a Ferrari or an 18-year-old in a Ferrari?
18-year-old.
18.
But
It's like,
depends.
how the hell did you buy this car? It's more intriguing. If you see someone at 58 with a Ferrari, you're like, oh, okay, Ferrari. The guy worked 30 years, saved up money, and then he's enjoying life at
Yeah.
58. So it's not that special. But if you're 18 or 28 or 38, driving a Lambo or a Ferrari, it's like, damn,
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
But
When you look at it this way, it makes sense.
you need to be both. If you
Yeah,
want
at
to
the
be
end
the
of
one
the day,
the 1%, you need to be both.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah.
That's why it's one of my biggest regrets in my 20s, not like investing in my fitness properly.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can do both, do both. But get rich, man.
Yeah.
Get
That's
rich
what I like to
first.
hear.
That's nice.
Sick. And Ray, yourself, right? I think we're at a point where we're seeing that a lot of the businesses you're doing are going pretty fast. Everything you do, whenever you started, I mean, you know how to grow it, right? You know how to do it pretty quickly. You've done it before, you can do it again. So my question to you is, knowing what you're doing right now and the results you're getting, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
That's a good question. I don't think I'll see myself in Canada anymore.
that's the best answer ever.
What's the reason?
Yeah.
First things first, I'm out of here.
Okay.
I'm not staying in Canada. I'll have a base probably in Montreal. I'll keep
Yeah.
something here,
Yeah.
but I'm not living there.
Say the word. It starts with T. Why you want to quit Canada? Leave Canada.
Okay, let's just say it's not a very tax friendly,
Okay, yeah.
country.
Yeah,
It's getting
tax,
worse by worse,
yeah.
worse year by year. So I need to set up something else for me. I'll start a business in another country,
Yeah.
operate from there.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see what's gonna happen. But like I said, I'm still gonna have a base in Quebec. I built a lot of stuff here, but I don't like it, man. It's gray all the time. It's like rainy 4 times a
Depressing,
week. It's potholes like I can't even enjoy my supercar properly. I just scratched one of my mags recently. And
A lot of
pothole.
haters.
A lot of haters.
Yeah.
Like the snow. It's cold all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's I don't know. Maybe it's not my vibe.
I see it. I see it.
that's
Okay.
nice.
So
What country you want to go?
So
at?
I know you want me to go to Dubai.
Yeah, of course, it's the best city in the world.
So
man.
we will go, us three.
Yeah.
We're gonna celebrate your birthday, it's
Absolutely.
Daniel's birthday in December,
Yep.
and we're gonna celebrate New Year's in Dubai.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Yeah,
And we'll spend a week or two, and I'll get my taste of the city. And if I like the vibe, I like everything there, I might start setting something there.
nice.
And if it doesn't work in Dubai, there's only one place in the States I would go, and it's Florida.
Nice.
I like Florida a lot. It's pretty peaceful. Weather is not bad. Taxes are pretty friendly. And I want to travel to Europe. I've never been to Europe, which is funny to say. I didn't really
Yeah.
travel too much in my 20s. I paid my dues. I was working on my business, making my first million. But now it's time to travel.
Yeah,
so I want to
Europe,
go to.
but Europe is not a tax friendly.
Depends where you go. But it's not just for tax. I mean, it's better than Canada.
Yeah,
For
sure.
I mean, it depends where you go.
Yeah,
But it's also a good lifestyle.
yeah.
Europe is nice.
Mm.
So I have to explore it first. I've never been, like I said, someone who judges something that they've never tried is an idiot.
Mm.
That's the definition of an idiot.
Yeah,
I see it.
Nice.
And obviously now we talked about location, right? This is just I don't want to live in Canada. Now let's just say you want to see yourself in terms of, example, I love cars. So I would pick myself, okay, well me, let's say I'm you, right? I'm Ray, I have a G-Wagon, I have an R8. In the next 5 years, I want to have this.
You're
Is it-
talking car wise?
Anything, man. That's something.
Okay,
you
let me
wanna
do
have.
like a 5-year projection of materialistic things.
Let's do it.
Let's do that.
Let's do it.
Let's see if I'm right. We'll watch this podcast again
in 5
in
years.
5 years. We'll see if I was right. I mean, I like very exclusive things.
Yep.
So I think a Bugatti would be nice.
Yeah, something unattainable for you.
Unattainable. I like exclusivity. Like if it's hard for people, I want to fight for it. I want to start kind of like
okay.
the
So
battle.
you want a Bugatti?
Bugatti Chiron Noir.
Oh,
That's what I want.
nice, nice,
Yes, and a bridge to that would be probably a Lamborghini Aventador
nice.
SV or SVJ.
Yep.
I like these cars a lot.
Yep.
But I don't know if it's gonna be in Montreal though. 'Cause
Hell no. Let's be honest. Come on, you
You know?
already with the R8, you can't even drive.
I was at the Lambo dealership helping a friend pick up his Lambo.
Yep.
And yeah, I just basically saw the Aventador in front of my eyes. It's a beautiful car,
Yep.
but then you look at the roads and you're like,
You're like,
"Ah."
Thank God I didn't get it.
Exactly.
Yep.
So I would say Bugatti Chiron. I like it a lot. I've always been a car guy, so I don't know. Maybe having a nice watch,
Nice.
something like a,
Yep.
pretty exclusive Rolex. I like Rolex.
Yeah,
I'm
Rolex is
pretty
nice.
classy. Basic.
Yeah.
What else can I say?
Yeah.
Having a nice. I like apartments, or maybe as like a small villa or something.
Okay.
I don't like big places
Yeah, me too.
because it's gonna feel empty.
Mhm.
I'm more about like who I'm spending time with than the place. So as long as it fits my need, that's fine for me. Maybe a private jet.
Sick.
Maybe a private
Nice.
jet, but probably not by myself. I might have done it with some other people.
For sure.
Maybe a couple people.
Mhm.
Doable. Like maybe 10 to 20 million to buy one.
Mm.
If we do it 4 people, 2 to 5 million each,
Mm.
should be doable in 5 years.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
aiming
like
big,
that.
man.
And what do you think? Because you just said you obviously like, let's say, apartments and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it brought me this question, which was, what do you think of younger guys going out and living together at a young age? You know what I mean? Just be like, you know what, I want to do business. And what do you think of just guys that are entrepreneurs that do business living together at a young age? What do you
Yeah,
think?
I think that's smart. But you have to do it with the right people.
Yeah.
You have to do it with the right people. I tried with someone in the past and didn't really work to it that much. But I think if you find the right people, so you're 2-3 guys, you split rent, you take a 2-3 bedroom, you pay like $700-800 a month each.
Yep.
You live in a nice top floor, something nice. You should do it. And it's a good kind of like small mastermind between you guys.
Yeah.
Because the more you guys grow together and spend time together, the more exponential your results are going to be. So this is something I wish I tried when I was younger.
Yeah.
Now I need my space. I'm a little older.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like, to kind of have other people around the house. But for someone starting out, I would say it's better to do this than to stay with your parents.
Oh, seriously? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you get more benefits because you don't really get benefits, by staying with your parents.
Well, you get free food. You get, let's say, sometimes they cook for you and stuff
you
like
get
that.
financial and comfort benefits,
yeah.
but you don't get like value benefits or like mastermind benefits. And also there's a lot of downsides to stay with your parents. Like sometimes the energy at home is not the same.
Yep.
Like your parents are asking you questions all the time. What are you doing? Why are you not spending time with us? This is not a hotel. All these
We've all heard it, man.
which
We've
is
all
good.
heard
You
it,
have goods
yeah.
and bads. But I would say it's a good experiment to make. Like if
Yeah.
anybody listening to this, you have like a friend or two, you can do it together. Maybe do an Airbnb for 1 month. Maybe
Try
if
it
it's a little more expensive, at least do it risk-free for a month. And then if you guys like it, maybe commit to a yearly lease.
Yeah.
And then just make sure you guys don't kill each other in the house.
Yeah.
You know?
Also, I have an advice for you for young people. So if you're already making money and you live with your parent, you need to help them like buy things. You have money, you have more money than them, and then just you take the free food. It's a free like hotel. So you should help your parents. What do you think about this?
Yeah, I
Ray?
definitely agree. I
Yeah.
definitely agree. I remember in the back in the days, I lived with my mom
Yeah.
for a little bit. After they got a divorce, my parents, so I lived with my mom for a couple of years, and yeah, I was helping her, around the house a little bit, pay the bills here and there. It's important. Like
Yeah.
it's not a hotel.
Yeah.
You have to respect your parents.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, I have a question for you. There's a subject that I think is underrated right now. Is journaling. A lot of people are.
Ooh.
Yeah. Do you think it's underrated or is it a good thing to do?
okay,
Is it for everyone?
okay, that's a controversial topic.
Yep.
If I read the comments on one of my friends, he went viral. Everybody's like, this is stupid. You guys are clowns. You got high school shit. You guys are girlies. Whatever. So basically, you do whatever works for you
Yeah.
at the end of the day. There's no right or wrong. Andrew Tate, I don't think he journals.
No.
Elon Musk, I don't think he journals. I think Grant Cardone, he does some sort of journaling. Other maybe super successful people like to journal. Alex Hormozy, he wakes up and he's straight to his computer and working. He doesn't do any morning routine.
Yeah.
So the cheat code to life is to find what works for you.
Yeah.
So if you try journaling and it works, do it. If you never tried journaling before hating on it, give it a shot. If it doesn't work for you, you don't like it, stop doing it.
Yeah.
If it works, you just discovered a gem.
Yeah. I think in life you should try everything and then you find the best thing for you that works for you.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
mentor used to say you have to be a mad scientist.
Yeah.
You have to be a try everything. Don't judge before you try. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, look, I mean, apart from that, Yasin, is there any last words you want to add to this podcast?
Nah, to be honest, man, everything was said. Huh?
I
I'm
think, we,
saying, yeah.
It was a good podcast, man. It was a lot of value, man.
I
Yeah.
think we covered a lot of topics, a
Yeah.
lot of things that we want to do as well. A lot of more controversial topic that's going to happen in the next, couple podcasts as well that's going to be coming. So definitely stay tuned for that. And I mean, apart from that, Ray, yourself, man, is there anything else you want to add?
Yeah. So for everybody listening, let me guys know what you guys want me to talk about. If you guys have any specific topics, questions for me,
Yeah.
things you want me to go deeper, let me know in the comment section.
Yeah.
And make sure you follow me on Instagram, Raymond Habre. And listen, if you're in Montreal and something kind of speaks to you and you want to join a like-minded community of people, learn from a self-made millionaire, someone who actually made money, not teaching people how to make money, someone who made money by building a real business, who took 6 years to make their first million and then started helping people out. If you want to learn from that guy, then you should check out the Road to the Million. I made sure I have multiple levels so you can start for cheap. And if you want to work more like one-on-one with me as your personal consultant, then there's different levels of consulting packages. But if you want to just start and just spend time with me every week and get, in the right mindset, start your business, get more clients, learn marketing from me, you should join the Road to the Million.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Also, I want to give a big shout out to Speak Up Studio for getting us this studio podcast. So thank you, Speak Up Studio.
Yes,
So this,
if you're in Montreal, you guys got to check out Speak Up Studio.
Yeah.
I'm an investor in that studio, by the way. It's a great studio. It's one of the best ones in the city. Very affordable. We made sure, I'm an investor, so I have a say a little bit with how the studio works. But me and my business partner made sure it was very affordable for anybody who wanted to start their own podcast. So give it a shot. We usually have like a promo offer if you want to try it for the first time.
Yeah.
So shout out to Speak Up Studio.
Yeah, shout out.
Beautiful,
So,
guys.
So
All
guys,
right.
see you next week.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So have a
Take
good
care, everybody.
Take care.